Hello, good morning, and welcome to Morning Gospel Fuel with Mr. G. It is Thursday, May 27th, the feast day of St. Augustine of Canterbury, not to get him confused with the more popular St. Augustine of Hippo. But St. Augustine of Canterbury he was an early 6th century monk who became the first bishop of Canterbury, of which the Bishop of Canterbury is the senior bishop and principal leader of the Church of England. And he is known as the Apostle to the English and original founder of the English Church. So, today's Gospel is from Mark chapter 10, verses 46 through 52. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit, amen. They came to Jericho, and as he was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a sizable crowd, Bartimaeus, a blind man, the son of Timaeus, sat by the roadside begging. On hearing that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, "Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me." And many rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he kept calling out all the more, "Son of David, have pity on me." Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." So they called the blind man, saying to him, "Take courage, get up, he is calling you." He threw aside his cloak, sprang up, and came to Jesus. Jesus said to him in reply, "What do you want me to do for you?" The blind man replied to him, "Master, I want to see." Jesus told him, "Go your way, your faith has saved you." Immediately he received his sight and followed him on the way. I think that's interesting that, because Jesus, who is all-knowing, he still asks us what we need, like he did with Bartimaeus. It's not like Jesus didn't know that Bartimaeus wanted to see, but he still asks. I think that's just Jesus' invitation, that he wants us to constantly communicate with him. And just talk to Jesus like a conversation, but then make sure it's not a one-sided conversation. Make sure that we listen to him too, and spend some time in prayer and try to get to that higher level of contemplative prayer. Anyway, but maybe that's all the meditation that I need for today, for the video. But there is from the Word Among Us. I'll read that, and then we'll conclude within that. He kept calling out all the more. It was not unusual for Bartimaeus to sit begging at the roadside, but today was different. He heard a large crowd. What was going on? The healer, Jesus of Nazareth, was passing by. It was his big chance, so Bartimaeus held nothing back. He shouted out so that he could be heard above the noise of the crowd. With each call, he became louder. "Jesus, Son of David." Son of David was no ordinary title. It pointed to the Messiah, a descendant of David who would come to establish an eternal kingdom. Bartimaeus had likely heard of Jesus' miracles and his teachings, but when he used this name for Jesus, he was professing that Jesus was more than a gifted rabbi or a prophet. He was the fulfillment of God's promises. When Bartimaeus cried out, it was a cry of faith in Jesus, anointed by God, the one who could heal and restore him. Jesus, Son of David. We too can call out to Jesus as Bartimaeus did. In fact, take a few moments right now to imagine that Jesus is passing by. Remember, as Bartimaeus did, the healings you have heard about and the prayers he has already answered. Remember the way Jesus preached and taught. But then go further. Acknowledge that he is the Messiah, the one who has come to save and heal you. He is the fulfillment of all God's promises. Jesus, Son of David. When you pray today, stand in wonder at who Jesus is. As you cry out to him, let the truths about his power and goodness sink into your heart. Let them give you confidence as you bring your needs to him. He is the one who has forgiven you and made you a child of God. He hears your cries and is filled with compassion for you. Don't give up. Jesus, in his kindness, is surely ready to stop and call you to his side. Jesus, Son of David. Have mercy on me, Lord. I believe that you are Son of David and Son of God. All right. Have a great Thursday. God bless. Keep it real. In the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen.